Hi.
Hi.
Hey.
I missed you.
Yes, I miss you guys too.
We
It's
haven't-
been such a hot minute.
It's been like 2 weeks.
I'm back.
You're
Yes.
back.
Yes, I was involved in a zip lining incident.
He took a
wow.
bulldozer and
Yeah.
decided to terrorize the community.
Fucking thing got stuck in a basement. Can you believe it?
Oh my god.
Fucking
Terrible.
I fell for the oldest trick in the book.
Yeah. You should have known that supermarket had a
Yeah.
fucking basement.
I mean, we all saw that episode of Looney Tunes.
Yeah.
Amateur hour.
I thought it was a it said exit. And I fell for it. Bugs Bunny swapped the signs out. That prick. I got my fucking hands on him.
An
Yeah.
anvil right on his head.
Right
Yeah.
up my ass.
And he had like a really like
stick
and
of
he had like
dynamite.
a cone-shaped injury
I
grow
would-
on the
I would
top of his head.
I would love a cone head. I loved cone heads. I think they're really cool.
Yeah.
Baldar. You know Baldar?
Yeah, I do.
The pregnancy when she's giving
Yeah.
labor.
Yeah.
I hate you, Baldar.
Yeah. I just remember like her like having the vacuum hose up to her mouth when she's vacuuming. She's sucking up all the things.
All the
It's like,
it's like has a dust ball, right?
yeah.
Fucking movies.
I
Wild.
haven't seen a girl eat like that since my mom.
Chris Farley, right?
Yeah.
I love when they're all sweaty and he's like,
Ronnie.
like, he like whips his head. He's all sweaty.
Yeah.
Oh, that was his name, right, Ronnie?
Ronnie.
That
yeah.
had to have been right after fucking Tommy Boy because David Spade and him. Well, Black Sheep too.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Chris Farley.
I have not seen Coneheads in 20 years.
Years.
Yeah.
Fucking-
Have you ever seen Coneheads?
I've seen like bits and pieces of it, but like not the full thing. Like it's one of those things that just like
It probably wouldn't be funny today.
I think so.
Do you?
I mean,
I don't know.
The scene where he goes to the dentist alone, he's like, and he's got like 17 rows of teeth.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm easily amused, so I probably would
It's-
find like one or two things funny from it, but like, yeah.
Yeah.
Sinbad, he's a riot in that.
Sinbad?
Yeah, isn't he like the guy that Baldar starts working? He's like a taxi driver.
No shit.
And he's got the turban because he's hiding the cone.
You know there's like a whole thing with that movie Shazam,
Yeah,
right?
I've never seen it. I've heard of it. I've heard of
remember
it.
seeing the cover of the VHS tape like
Yeah.
at the video store.
And I don't think anyone would confuse Sinbad for Shaq
Never.
because Shaq was in Kazam, which is like
Or
essentially
no,
the same.
Shazam.
Shazam was Sinbad, right? Kazam was Shaq. Shaq is a genie. Unless I'm fucking losing my mind.
Wait,
Because that could be like a double Mandela. Let me look that up while you guys
Shazam.
Kazam. Fiddle bean.
Isn't Shazam the DC superhero movie?
I think he is a character. But
Yeah.
it's not like fucking Stan Lee invented the word Shazam. I think that was Chris Angel.
Anyhow,
Or any other-
while
any
you
other
look
magician.
into that, I got something pretty cool. Actually, it's not cool if it's true. So, a New England serial killer rumors emerged after the 8th body is found. This is
Oh, I
going
heard about
on.
this.
Yeah. So, Springfield,
God.
Massachusetts. This article's from WWLP. It's rumors of a New England serial killer are swirling online, and some people are speculating about a body found in Springfield earlier this week. Could be
geez.
connected to the others found across the region. 2 bodies discovered in woods near Salem Walmart.
Jeez, that's two things.
2, yeah.
Jesus.
Salem and Walmart.
Yeah. Authorities are investigating the death of a woman found unresponsive off a bike path near Connecticut riverfront on Tuesday. This woman's name and age have not been released, but her death follows 7 others between March and April in Massachusetts, Connecticut, and Rhode Island. Human remains, mostly of women, have been found in New Haven, Norwalk, Groton, and Killingly, Connecticut, Foster, Rhode Island, as well as Framingham and Plymouth, Massachusetts. Now in Springfield.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
not,
crazy.
Not Simpsons.
Not
you know,
Simpsons, I don't think. Are they Missouri?
Oh my God, it's Krusty the Clown. No, it's probably Springfield, Ohio.
I don't know. Oh, that makes sense, yeah. Authorities have not announced any connection between the deaths and Dr. P.
Oh!
from the
I
university.
know him.
You're just don't dox yourself.
You
I'm
know
not dying.
him.
Well, you didn't have to bring attention to it.
All right, I'm
All
sorry.
right, we'll
We'll bleep. We're gonna bleep the last name.
it's fine.
Santa.
It's Busey.
I know him.
Dr. Peter Busey.
No, get the fuck out of here.
I swear.
Busey and Valentine Valentin in the same sentence.
Yep.
Well, 2 separate.
University of New Haven says there's not enough known physical evidence to link them. We really want to be careful about how we interpret the forensic evidence that we're recovering, and that tends to be the most difficult thing, not to over-interpret the evidence that we recover, said Dr. Busey.
That's incredible. I always knew he was a doctor.
Yeah. Initial rumors spread through a New England serial killer Facebook group, which I'm not a part of that. I really should be.
Yeah.
Me too.
I don't even use Facebook.
No, yeah, me too.
So Facebook group where users say these remains could indicate a serial killer. Experts say, however, that just because victims were located at the same time does not mean they died at the same time or the same way. The Springfield Police Department have not determined whether this 8th woman's death was a homicide, but 22 News will continue to cover this story. What are the chances that all these... I don't know. I mean...
What is the relationship between all of these?
They haven't said.
What leads them to believe that a serial killer? Because they just keep finding dead chicks?
Finding dead girls, yeah.
It's sad. I don't want that ever.
They could like know the motive and like what connects them all, but they probably haven't really said it.
Yeah.
Because
were there trophies taken at all?
I don't know.
Because sometimes if you let out a little bit too much information, then it causes like mass hysteria and all that.
Well, they also tend to hold back information that like only the killer would know. So they kind of wait till they have all their ducks in a row, arrest somebody, and then because
they don't want him to like.
Because
I assume they don't want him to change his rituals and stuff.
Yeah. They want him to think he's like not even on the radar.
Because if they like start info dumping too much, then the person's gonna be like, oh fuck, they know, and then they'll switch it up.
I am obsessed with that chrome nail. Let me say.
Thank you. Oh yeah, Jess did my nails before the show, and
it only took 4 hours.
Yeah, it's okay.
No,
you should see her the bend in her back. She got scoliosis.
I do
from hunching.
Yeah.
I look like Zelda.
Oh no! Come on.
I pay her chiropractor
I'll never
bills.
paint your nails again.
I forgot her officially for 2 weeks. Now here I am.
I pay her chiropractor bills, so
it's okay.
I don't think you're paying enough.
Chris just walks on my back.
Yeah, I'm actually standing on Jess's back. She just
I pay Chris.
the floor from the
I pay Chris
floor.
in black coffee.
Oh my god!
And he walks on Jess's back.
Yeah.
That's the system.
Yeah, she acts up. I maybe. Oops, I missed my mouth.
He
Hot
stands
coffee at the
and he's
nape
wearing
of the neck.
He's wearing roller skates while he stands on my back.
I'm really, and I'll tell you what, I'm practicing.
He is.
I'm practicing braking.
He's like, stop, go.
I'll get a lot of speed, and then I'll stop right on your back. Just dig those rubber fucking door stopper things in the. I've never been roller skating.
Really?
Yeah, my mom went once recently, like a couple years back. And as soon as she steps off the fucking roller rink to like start packing up to go home, breaks her fucking wrist.
No!
She broke her wrist getting off. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Like
That sucks. Not to toot my own horn, but beep beep. Yeah. I am a very good roller skater.
Really?
Yes.
Can you ice skate too or no?
Yes.
Yeah?
Can you teach me how to roller skate this summer?
100%.
Yes.
Can we rent out? I want to rent out a roller rink just so we can like listen to Dave Matthews Band.
No.
Like Andy.
No,
come on.
Not Dave Matthews Band.
Oh, the space between is a banger. You can't.
If you were like, let's have like a 80s and 90s hip hop, like 100%.
Like Salt and Peppa and.
Or like get the Quad City DJs.
Just Missy Elliott.
We could definitely have a Missy night.
Yeah. A Missy night.
Yeah. A Missy night.
Yeah. Misdemeanor.
Yeah.
Misdemeanor.
Isn't that her name before Missy Elliott?
No, it's Missy Misdemeanor Elliott.
Oh, Missy Misdemeanor.
Yeah.
Slay.
She's got to up that to a felony. Not these days. Misdemeanors aren't selling much. I don't know if you guys are aware.
No,
they're not.
No,
you gotta start killing.
That's unfortunate.
Or don't.
Yeah.
No. Or don't. Wait, you just got back. Were you in New England?
What? Don't do this to me. I got alibis. I got receipts.
Do you?
Probably not. I probably don't have receipts. What was that? Did you hear that?
Yeah, I think the cat.
Mickey?
I don't know. It's fine.
Well, you look to the right. Mickey's right here.
Oh.
Mickey's looking at us like that wasn't fucking me, bro.
It's Agnes.
He just goes, that wasn't a cat. I'm like, dude, I'd probably jump into that punching bag just to hide.
Then we got a goat man situation.
Oh no.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
No.
Goat Man is one of the scariest cryptids of all time.
Yeah. But anyhow, it feels good to be back.
Mm-hmm.
It does. It does. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys aren't already listening to my other show, How Very, you should. It's How Very
Episode
Pod.
14.
We're on like 8.
Oh, really?
No, we have
Nice.
we have more than that. I don't know. I just put one out last night.
Oh, nice.
So
I do have a little something I would like to say though.
You may speak.
I might self-publish a book of poetry.
Okay.
That is amazing.
We can push that shit.
Yes.
And what brought this on?
I don't know. I've just been writing poetry like for the last like 5 years. I started writing poetry back in 2020 when COVID hit, and
You're supposed to say you, Jess. You brought this on because I'm the one that said Piper, write a book.
I was the one telling her to just fucking quit and get a job. I was like, you guys, I was like, dude.
I'm gonna kick your ass.
I love this for you, and I told you I will help you.
Yes.
So.
Jess and I were talking about it the other night. And I do want to publish something because it's on my bucket list, which I know having a bucket list at 21 years old is crazy, but you always have to be prepared. So it's just yeah, and I'm very excited.
Start and save your shit.
Yes.
Don't just leave it on your fucking phone.
Yes.
Email your
yeah.
Dropbox
Yes.
it, like
I know
put
you
it
have
on
a
multiple
bunch-
or
you
save
have
it,
a
send it
bunch-
to yourself.
You have a
have,
bunch
like,
written.
An upwards of like probably 600 poems on that
Start
notes app.
organizing.
Like,
Start organizing. Narrow it down
Yes.
to like 100,
yes.
depending on how big or small,
Yeah.
long or short.
Yeah.
And then let's get this done.
yes. I'm like,
I'm excited for you.
Like-
That's awesome.
Oh my god, yeah, because I started writing back when COVID initially hit because I was just like kind of feeling it, like everyone was, and I was just like, a really like healthy way of dealing with my emotions is putting it elsewhere than my brain, and then it just became like a hobby of mine, just writing and everything. So
Yeah, some
and they're
people went
beautiful.
south.
I've read a few of them.
Like some people went
Yes.
south during the pandemic, and some people like leaned into a lot of shit just for the fuck of it. And I
Yeah.
feel like those are
Yeah.
the people that are like happier nowadays. People that like kind of rediscovered themselves when everything. Because I know I leaned into guitar and music heavy because I was like, dude, if like,
Cross-stitch.
if we're
Yes.
if like not even sickness alone, like if we're just in something else now, if things are just different,
Yeah.
I gotta do what I enjoy and do it until the fucking lights go out.
I
And
leaned
also-
into like learning cross stitch and then also being like, wow, I am mentally unwell. Medication.
and also
Yeah.
like my
It's fine.
generation especially has been through like crazy shit. Like we were all born like
Yeah, you guys went to
like-
war.
like,
you guys went
it's
to
like-
a world war.
it's like we've
Yeah.
lived in a post 9/11 world, and it's just like we've never really
remember
known,
9/11.
like
Wait, were you born? Were you born yet?
No.
I was born 2004.
That's crazy.
She was born the year I graduated high school.
That's incredible.
it's
old enough to be her mommy.
It's like my generation has never experienced the moment where the world was like truly at peace. So it's just like
sucks.
there's a lot to
Well, when has it ever been at fucking peace? Like that's not. That's never been even been a thing.
yeah.
You know. So I wouldn't
Yeah.
even. That's
But
never
even
been a
more
thing.
so, honestly, in like the recent years. But I won't get into it because that's like another
Yeah.
War's
whole
a
can
racket.
of
War's
worms.
a
Oh.
racket.
But
And we ain't making any money from that shit. Did you get $1 from any of that shit?
no,
So I got some voice messages from someone who's been listening. I guess they found our show. Let me see.
Oh, please don't tell me.
I'm a little nervous.
No, that's White Princess, Walking Wall. There's nothing, it's, sex, drugs, and podcasts and Walking Wall. That's how the saying goes, I think. I don't know. I just think you guys are really great. I think you're doing a great thing, talking about, like, murders and, disappearances and, kidnappings and, whatever, ghosts.
Wow.
He sent
What was
an-
his name?
Brett.
Welvin.
Welvin.
His name is Welvin.
Thank you.
Welvin Shanice.
Yeah, he sent another one.
I started listening to the Coffee and Scream podcast probably 13 or 14 years ago.
This guy's got a way with words.
that's
We
beautiful.
got like 700 episodes. But when I first started
701.
listening to them, I didn't really like them. But eventually Jess and Chris and Piper grew on me, and now I really like them. Sometimes the episodes are really entertaining. Sometimes they're really scary. I listened to an episode and I wet my bed, and my mom and my boyfriend Terry, they beat me with jumper cables. But that's okay. They said they were sorry. But listen to the Coffee and Scream podcast whenever you can. Binge it.
Dude, I'll tell you what. Jumper cables probably fucking suck across the
He
keister.
sent me another one just now.
Oh, he's talkative.
But no, you fucking serious? Of course I love Quaid. There's only one band that can take me higher, and that's them. I'm 6 feet from the edge. Because you asked me that dumb freaking question, Jess.
I don't think I think they're Queed from now on.
Queed.
I think
Queed?
Queed. Dennis Queed, one of my favorite
Assassin's
actors.
Queen.
Assassin's Queed. Nice.
Just Queed, the boxer.
Queed Blatton.
Queed from The Office.
Queed Blatton.
I'm like trying to reply to him, and I almost sent him my brother's mugshot.
No, just block him. That's his reply. Say, fix your fucking voice.
All right, how that came about, he sent me a voice memo on Instagram. This was like last year, and because I posted like a picture of like chocolate covered pretzels.
Uh-huh.
He sent me a voice memo. He's like, those are really the best pretzels. And I'm like, and I was like, oh, I'm like, can you just send me another voice message? Like, I wanted to make sure I heard it right.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, I can't. And it was,
What you got to do is
I
you
try
gotta,
to bait him into sending them to, I'm like, is this, I'm like, I want to laugh.
Yeah.
I want to laugh, but I need to know it's safe to laugh.
That's another thing. You're like, is this
I'm like,
for real?
I don't want to be insensitive
Yeah.
or, but I'm like,
Yeah, you send me a couple more. I just want to hear.
I mean,
I need to
just,
investigate.
yeah.
It's just something's not loading. I think I'm driving through a tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
I need a couple hundred more of
Yeah.
those.
For
But
real.
I'll tell you what, he fucking destroyed that. Shouts
That's
out. What was his
amazing.
name again?
Brett.
Brett. No
Sick-
sweat, Brett.
No
That's what I'm
sweat,
calling him.
Brett.
Thank you, Brett, for the laughs.
Amazing.
And you better watch your fucking step.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Let's see. Well, I got a voice memo from Brett telling us we're awesome. Like,
Yeah.
Anybody else wants to send one? Send
Yeah,
it
does
to
anybody else want to stroke us?
Stroke.
'Cause,
You want to really give it to Chris?
We are destitute. We are
Yeah.
living in squalor. If you guys can't see
Yeah.
us, but all of us are wearing fingerless gloves around a burning barrel,
Yeah.
and we're all recording on
Potato
the same microphone.
sacks.
Yeah, potato sacks.
Piper's wearing a barrel.
Yeah.
She's wearing a barrel. That's
Yeah.
all she's got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's bitching about it too. She just keeps saying it's heavy. I'm like, dude,
Yeah. Come on.
get over it.
Come on.
At least you're not. At least you don't got a.
No one likes a whiner.
But I got
I don't.
But I got a splinter in my thigh the other day.
Did you really?
In your boob.
Yeah.
Oh, can you imagine?
Ouch.
Like an Albert Fishian fucking,
Yeah.
like a 9-inch fucking splinter through the what are they called? Mammary.
Sometimes you're sitting there and you randomly just think of the fact that he used to beat himself with a wooden paddle with nails sticking out because he's like, I'm a bad boy. Like,
Oh my god! When you say it like that.
yeah. Just like trying to
Dude.
get his kids and like his kids' friends to be like, spank me.
Yeah, he's pretending he's like I'm gonna get this fly one day. There's a fly in here. And you're like, come on, kids, help me.
He was
No.
No, we
training
like
for
flies.
war
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
dude, that's
every place
something.
for the
every spot
insect
in the-
invasion.
Yeah,
in the living room, they look at the couch. There's just blood stains on every seat because it's where he's like wherever he sits.
yeah.
Just blood.
Yeah,
Anyway.
he was something. I wonder. You said they thought he shorted out the fucking electric chair.
That was the rumor.
It was bullshit,
It was
yeah.
it was a myth.
I don't even think that would have. I don't know. Who knows?
If anything, could only helped.
I don't know.
Right?
A groin, thermodynamics.
I am not good with electricity. What is safe, not safe?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know the basics. Like I know, like don't take a bath with your toaster.
Yeah.
Why?
Don't
It's
put
so fun.
aluminum foil in the microwave.
I do want to do that. I want to try.
I've
that.
done it as a kid.
Yeah.
I did it
see,
with like
I
a
went to
Pop-Tart
melt-
wrap.
I
went
left
to-
a fork in an Easy Mac once. That was not. I heard noise and I ran over. It was a green sparks.
Oh yeah,
was
I
it?
went to soften butter and it was in like a metallic wrapper, and I put it. in like
Oh
a,
shit!
yeah.
I did it with a Pop-Tart wrapper.
That's crazy.
Pop-Tart.
Pop tarp.
Yeah, for real. And then my brother, one time, he cooked French toast sticks on a styrofoam plate, which you're not supposed to do because styrofoam is flammable.
Yeah.
And the house for a week afterwards smelled like burning cinnamon,
Oh.
like burning plastic cinnamon, and it was awful. Yeah.
Yeah, I love cinnamon, but you had me at the burnt plastic.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we've been gone a while, and I think we should just get into it.
Get into this New England stuff.
No.
Oh, that's not even.
That's
the
not
thing?
even the topic.
Oh shit! I thought that. Well, this is also
No.
developing still, so there's not
Yeah.
that much. But
Tonight we'll be talking about the most gruesome and terrifying murders committed by the mafia.
oh,
Yeah. This
like Tommy.
We'll see.
He thought he was a made man.
Yeah.
Nope. Shot
This
him in the
is-
back of the head, closed casket. Not even his mother could weep over him.
That's yep.
That was kind of dark. It was like,
Jesus.
I didn't
Yeah.
write it.
I
Take
mean,
it up with Scorsese.
all right. This is by Phil Gibbons on Ranker, and it is life in the American mafia typically ends in one of two ways: death or prison. In a perpetual struggle over illegal power and money, murder is practically an occupational hazard. From the very first days of organized crime, mafia hits, brutal assassins, and crime's most horrifying killers underlined the fundamentally violent lifestyle of this uniquely American entity. In a world where violence is practically second nature, these are some of the most brutal killers and gruesome murders associated with the mafia. Some of the people on the list are classic gangsters like Al Capone. Others weren't even in the mob, but pissed off the wrong people. In either case, the lesson is... Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah. In either case, the lesson is clear. Steer clear of the mob and definitely don't make a gangster mad. Keep reading below to see some of the most violent murders ever committed by the mafia.
What are you going to do? To wrinkle my zoot suit?
Woke up this morning.
Ooh, we should do an episode on the Zoot Suit riots.
Yeah.
We should.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris, for that beautiful idea.
did I
We'll
do?
throw
What-
back a bottle of beer.
What idea? Oh,
You said
I'm-
Zoot Suit. The Zoot Suit riots. We should.
It's
do
a
an
real
episode
thing.
on.
The zoot
Yeah.
suit riots?
It's
Yeah.
a real crime.
It
Go
was
look
a-
it up.
That
Yeah.
sounds like a bit I would write.
Okay,
know.
but
We got-
anyway, yes. Roy DeMayo's Gemini Method, an assembly line of murder. Roy DeMayo was a New York-based member of the Gambino crime family who ran his own crew of criminals in Brooklyn. This particular group of thugs specialized in murder and contract killings that typically involved dismemberment and the ultimate disappearance of any trace of the victim. Those slated to die would be lured to DeMayo's headquarters, the Gemini Lounge, awesome name by the way,
Yeah.
through the promise of a meeting, drugs, or some other inducement for them to enter the apartment area behind the bar itself. DeMayo would be surreptitiously waiting for them with a silenced pistol in one hand and a towel in the other. After a point-blank shot in the back of the head, DeMayo would carefully wrap the towel around the wound to prevent too much blood from spilling. As quickly as possible, a Confederate would stab the victim in the heart to minimize excessive bleeding. Then the body would be deposited in a bathtub where it would bleed out as much as possible. If a victim was murdered to send a message, they would dump the body publicly for all to see. Otherwise, blood would eventually be washed down the drain, and DeMayo, a trained butcher, would supervise a quick and efficient dismemberment. With body parts packed in plastic and stuffed in cardboard boxes, the boxes would be included with refuse intended for a large local landfill.
Ugh.
Yummy.
Richard Kuklinski was called the Iceman for a reason.
Oh.
Richard Kuklinski, that is
Kuklinski.
Kuklinski.
I talked about this dude in a project for something I did in high school.
He was known as the Iceman, the perfect nickname for a mafia contract killer who murdered several dozen victims in any number of ingenious ways. At 6 feet 5 inches and nearly 300 pounds, Kuklinski was also physically well suited to his chosen vocation. As a young man, he began stalking and killing derelicts on Manhattan's West Side. Kuklinski quickly became involved in Gambino pornography bootlegging collections and occasionally contract murders. His methods were diverse and included stabbing, shooting, blunt force trauma, and even employing cyanide from a spray bottle, an especially difficult method to use. Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Windex.
Yeah. Kuklinski also employed an additional process to thwart investigators. He would freeze his dead victims in an industrial freezer, sometimes for years, before thawing and dumping them, completely obscuring their actual date of death.
That's fucking brilliant. Like,
It
as
kinda
dark
is.
as it is, man.
No, it is.
Who the fuck thinks of that shit? That was like one of the things that made me sit down and watch a documentary with my dad. I was like, he did what? He would freeze them and then return them to the scene of the crime. I heard years later. Wouldn't that make you scratch your fucking head?
Does he keep like a
A log?
yeah? Like,
Well,
Shit. I mean, he seems meticulous.
Going back to the thing I did for one of my high school projects, we had to do a project on like an urban legend or like a haunted location for like a Halloween themed project. And I did it on Clinton Road, which is a very haunted road.
Oh,
here
I've been
in New
there.
Jersey.
Yeah, I've been
Me
there. I
too.
saw a
He
big ass
was-
millipede when I was there. Big red millipede.
He was rumored to dump his victims along
that
that
lake?
road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'll tell you what, there's like barely any houses over there. The roads are very windy. It's a lot of trees. there's a lot of hills, so you won't see someone coming, but someone who's driving probably won't see you until they're about to pass you.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're going to see you like Jeepers Creepers style from the side of the road.
Yeah. This would eventually be Kuklinski's undoing. When he dumped a body in warm weather before completely thawing it, the medical examiner found ice crystals in the lungs of the victim. Dubbed the Iceman by law enforcement, they eventually connected him to the murders of 5 people, mostly his friends and business associates, and he was sentenced to life in prison in 1988. After appearing on numerous crime documentaries discussing his methods and life, Kuklinski died in prison in 2006.
Jesus Christ.
Anthony the Ant Spillatoro's brutal ways. Anthony Spillatoro was so ruthlessly effective as a mafia enforcer and killer that in 1971 he was sent to Las Vegas to oversee the Chicago mob's casino cash, skimming, and criminal operations in the rapidly expanding gambling mecca. He earned this reputation through his involvement in numerous egregiously violent murders in the Chicago area. Reenacted in the 1995 film Casino, Spillatoro kidnapped Billy McCarthy, another criminal who found himself at odds with the mob. Spillatoro placed McCarthy's head in an industrial vice and demanded the identity of McCarthy's partner, exerting pressure until one of his victims' eyes popped out of his head.
Jesus.
McCarthy gave up his partner's name, and Spillatoro rewarded him by slitting his throat.
With his head still in the vice. You can't even
No.
fucking do anything.
When the outfit suspected that one William Action Jackson had turned informer to the feds, he was assigned to Spillatoro, who tortured him for 2 days. He was beaten, sliced up with knives and razor blades, burned with a blowtorch, had his skin ripped off of his 300-pound frame, and ultimately hung by the rectum with a meat hook until his heart gave out.
Oh my God.
Oh, Jesus.
All right. Dare I say this is probably the most brutal one?
Yeah.
So his heart gave out is the craziest fucking ending in that
I
sentence.
know. I know.
He
Like,
really
he,
made someone
like,
Yeah, we
angry.
hung him by
He
his ass, his
survived
heart
all that
popped.
shit, and then he had a heart
Fuck,
attack.
wouldn't you?
I mean,
like,
I probably would have before. As soon as I saw the hook coming, I'm like, I'm dead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my heart. It's like I just fucking fell off a cliff.
Yeah.
Sometimes
That's
the outfit would
crazy.
summon Spillatoro from Las Vegas, where they had a special need in Chicago. In January 1978, someone stupidly burgled Chicago mob boss Tony Accardo's house while he was on vacation. Spillatoro was assigned to discipline the individuals responsible for this transgression, and he quickly identified the professional theft ring involved. In 6 weeks, he murdered all 6 men. All died horribly from stab wounds and torture. Spillatoro returned to Vegas, and Tony Accardo had sent a clear message.
Ew. The 1929 St. Valentine's Day Massacre was utterly ruthless. Throughout the 20s, Al Capone battled George Bugs Moran for control of Chicago's organized crime operations, especially bootlegging and alcohol sales. Moran controlled the North Side and was constantly competing with Capone for control over smuggling and trafficking operations.
Prohibition.
Capone decided that he needed to completely eliminate Moran and his gang. In a scheme that was elaborately planned for months, Capone's top henchman, Machine Gun Jack McGurn, sent 4 men, some dressed as police officers, into Moran's Clark Street headquarters on the morning of February 14th, 1929. Lookouts believe that Moran was already present. In fact, he had seen the police officers entering his building and decided to hide out. The decision to dress some of the assassins in police uniforms proved to be wise, as gang members grumbled and felt intimidated enough to agree to line up against a wall for what they presumed would be petty arrests. Instead, the men dressed as civilians opened up the Thompson submachine handguns, spraying all 7 of Moran's gang with numerous rounds of .45 caliber bullets long after they fell to the ground. The 2 other killers shot into the pile too, obliterating the victims.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
On Valentine's
Yeah.
Day. Mm-hmm. There's something about like mobsters and fedoras on Valentine's Day holding.
Red roses
Yeah.
just falling.
Yeah, like it's like the Terminator where he takes
Yeah.
the Terminator 2, he takes the shotgun out of the box of roses.
Have you ever watched Boardwalk Empire?
The first like eight episodes. I gotta watch more of it because I saw clips of like the sniper guy and I was like, what the?
Oh
fuck
my
is
God,
that?
Richard Harrow?
Yeah, the fucking like Phantom of the Scope or whatever the fuck they call him.
I
Amazing.
follow
Hit him with
this
the bolt action?
guy on TikTok, and he does like funny like mobster like point of views, and he dresses up with like the fedora, the striped suit, and everything, and he'll like, and he has this one video, and it's like you're a mobster trying to kill a spider, and he has like the rolled up newspaper, and he's just like continuously beating the ground.
Fucking,
like,
POV, like beating the phone.
But Tony Spillatoro, we're back to this guy. His murder was depicted inaccurately, but was still brutal. In the film Casino, Tony Spillatoro was brutally attacked with his brother in a cornfield, and then both were buried alive. Court testimony would ultimately surface as to what actually happened to Anthony and Michael in the real world. But by June 1986, Anthony Spillatoro had completely alienated mobsters in Chicago after trouble in Las Vegas. He had brought the authorities' attention on the mob's higher-ups. When boss Joey Aiuppa was sent to prison in the spring of 1986, he ordered that Spillatoro be killed.
Just quick sidebar. It's Spillatro.
Spillatro? Okay. Okay.
Spillatro.
And
You ever play Bellatro? Guys in the chat, they'll know.
So it's
Spillatro.
not Spillatoro, it's Spillatro.
Whatever
The fuck it is. Spillatro and his brother Michael were lured to a home in suburban Chicago, ostensibly so that Michael could be formally elevated to made mob status and Anthony could be formally promoted. The outfit reasoned correctly that killing only Anthony would prompt Michael to seek revenge, so both would be killed. On June 14th, 1986, Michael Spillatro left his home to meet his brother and head to the meeting, but cautioned his wife, "If I'm not back by 9 o'clock, it's no good." In court testimony, mafia enforcer Nick Calabrese testified as to what would happen if the Spillatros when they arrived. As they entered the basement, a dozen men were waiting for them. Michael was tackled, a rope was placed around his neck, and he was strangled, kicked, and beaten. Anthony was also killed before he could say a prayer. A coroner's report indicated that they were asphyxiated on their own blood, and their bodies were covered from head to toe with bruises and horrific injuries. The bodies were later found in an Indiana cornfield in a botched burial near farmland owned by the mob. The Catholic Church refused both of the Spillatros' funeral services based on their criminal histories.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's essentially what happened instead of what was depicted in Casino.
Yeah.
Where they
Which that was still like the baseball bats and shit like
similar.
that. Brutal.
Oh,
like,
terrible, man.
like yeah.
Like regardless, like getting beat to death is kind of evil.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Well, we're not getting beat to death, beating someone to death.
yeah.
I mean, both don't sound fun.
Yeah, like
No,
if you
yeah.
get beat to death, it's like you're not evil. You just
No.
got the shit kicked out of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, losing is evil. You're right. I hate losers.
Joe E. Lewis actually survived a horrifying attack.
Slay.
In 1927, Joe E. Lewis was a top singer and comedian appearing at Chicago's Green Mill nightclub. With his contract about to expire, he accepted a much more lucrative offer to appear at the Rendezvous Cafe. One major problem, Al Capone owned a piece of the Green Mill, and the Rendezvous was controlled by a competing gang operation. He was warned specifically by Jack McGurn that he should not take the job. Lewis started working at the Rendezvous anyway, but one day Capone's henchmen slit Lewis's throat from ear to ear and cut off some of his tongue. They left him to bleed out. But miraculously, Lewis didn't die. After a long period of recovery and speech therapy, Lewis would learn how to speak intelligibly, albeit with a strangely deep voice that became his calling card. He became a regular performer in Las Vegas, and Sinatra even played him in a film, The Joker is Wild, which was based on Lewis's tumultuous life.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And I've heard stuff about Sinatra being like being surrounded by certain types, which is interesting to me.
Yeah.
But then
That's
again-
a long-standing rumor.
But I'm sure
Like,
that's the same thing with like anyone. It's like the same thing with politicians get close.
I believe it.
Get close to stars. It's like why would
Like
the mafia
what
not
wasn't like
wanna get close to them?
Sinatra and like Ted Kaczynski's like hit list or whatever? Like
What?
yeah.
Was
He
they
might
even
have been.
alive at the same time? Probably, right? When did
Ten-
Frank Sinatra die?
Frank Sinatra? Actually, let me see.
That's
I don't
fucking
remember.
wild. And why?
I guess he just like didn't like his vibe or something.
Yeah.
Like straight up like
fucking music sucks.
yeah.
Witchcraft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
That's
love that
interesting.
song.
But Al Capone beat 2 of his henchmen to death with baseball bats.
Frank Sinatra
I like that.
Frank Sinatra died on May 14th, 1998.
Oh, wow. That's a lot later than I thought. I thought he died maybe like 88 or some shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
I'm guessing they were alive at the same time.
yeah. Al Capone beat 2 of his henchmen to death with baseball bats. One of the reasons that the infamous Capone killers, Alberto Anzaleme and Giovanni Scalise, are believed to be the 2 killers involved in the St. Valentine's Day massacre was that Scalise bragged that he and his murderous partner were the most powerful men in Chicago. If that was the case, their status didn't last long, most likely because of a lack of discretion. Scalise met openly with individuals plotting against Capone, and when rumors of disloyalty got back to Big Al, he decided to put his 2 triggermen into a test. He staged an incident where he slapped another gangster, Frank Rio, and the 2 men immediately attempted to recruit Rio into their ever-thickening plot. On May 7th, Capone responded with a typical savagery. He invited Scalise, Anzaleme, and their main conspirator, Giuseppe Hop-Toad Ginta, to what was billed as a laudatory event in their honor. It was to take place in a private room at the Mob Casino in Hammond, Indiana. Initially, a sumptuous banquet was served, and the guests of honor enjoyed all the food, alcohol, and positive attention. Well after midnight, Capone suddenly stood up from his seat at the head of the table, no longer proposing toasts to his guests, but now brandishing a baseball bat. As he began to rage at the 3 traitors, telling them that he knew everything about their plot, men led by McGurn used wire to tie Scalise, Anzaleme, and Ginta into their seats. Starting with Anzaleme, Capone then methodically beat each man savagely about the head, shoulders, and arms. When Scalise, having watched his partner's beating, began to plead hysterically for mercy, Capone became even more visibly enraged, his blows even more savage. Ginta was the last to go, and the barely living men were finally untied and tossed onto the floor, where McGurn put 3 45 caliber slugs into each man's head, with the barely conscious Scalise lifting a hand and getting his pinky torn off by a bullet to the eye.
Oh!
No.
The bodies were left in Hammond, and when the police brought them to the morgue, the medical examiner called them the worst corpses he had ever seen, with every bone in the upper part of each man's body and face crushed or broken.
I mean, who would do this to a pinky? The guy's puking in the trash can.
Yeah.
He's a rookie. He can't get over the pinky.
He's like, I gotta go out for a smoke break.
I gotta call my wife, my mom, someone.
I gotta go tell my daughter I
I
love
gotta call
her.
BetterHelp.
Oh, God.
Not a sponsor.
Alrighty. Machine Gun Jack McGurn got his in the end. The St. Valentine's Day massacre was the high watermark of Al Capone's criminal career. Following this event, he would be harassed by law enforcement and arrested for petty crimes wherever he went. In 1931, Capone would ultimately be jailed for a hefty sentence in federal prison for income tax evasion. These circumstances would greatly affect Jack McGurn, who owed his reputation and ability to intimidate other mobsters to his status as Al Capone's top enforcer.
Oh, but tax evasion's funny.
With Capone out of the picture, McGurn was quickly shunned by the other McGurn was quickly shunned by other outfit criminals who disliked him.
The way you said that and then looked up.
Who disliked him?
Who disliked him. They weren't friends.
They weren't friends.
Yeah. McGurn had accumulated a great deal of money and even owned a golf course and attempted a living as a professional golfer. He lived with his wife, Louise Rolfe, a.k.a. the Blonde Alibi, because she testified that McGurn had spent all of February 14th, 1929 with her in a hotel room. He divorced his first wife and married Rolfe to prevent further testimony, quashing any prosecution from the Valentine's Day massacre in the process. On February 14th, 1936, McGurn went to a neighborhood bowling alley where he had been frequently spending time in the evenings. 3 associates entered the bowling alley, drew handguns, and told everyone in the building to freeze. The 3 men shot him to death, and technically it was early on February 15th, but McGurn came within minutes of dying 7 years to the day after the St. Valentine's Day massacre. When police arrived at the scene, they found a cord that was left by the front desk or on McGurn's person, depending on whom you ask. It read, "You've lost your job, you've lost your dough, your jewels and cars and handsome houses, but things could still be worse, you know. At least you haven't lost your trousers." Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's funny.
No one says trousers anymore.
Trousers.
Yeah.
Trousers.
But they wrote trousers with an
Oh.
A. Like, not just trousers.
Like they were spelling the Italian accent.
trousers.
Yeah.
You lost your trousers.
Fucking trousers. Why don't you cover those balls up?
Yeah.
Go into the foyer. Grab yourself a
What are you,
pair
a-
of trousers.
What are you, a fucking animal?
Fuck. Fuck. Jesus, fuck. Jesus, fuck, Tony.
You're indecent.
You're
Come on.
Cover it up. Macaroni ears.
Jesus
All right,
Where are all
Christ.
those old slang, man? We got to bring it back.
Yeah.
But Arnold Schuster should have kept his mouth shut. In
Shoulda shushed.
February
Sure,
1952,
Shush.
Swoosh.
Shush. Your
Shush.
mouth. Go ahead, sorry.
in February 1952, 24-year-old Arnold Schuster was riding in a New York subway when he thought he recognized someone. Arnold, a man who fancied himself an amateur
Say Schuster.
sleuth.
You know you want to.
Schuster.
All right.
We're Schuster sauce.
Yeah. Simon and Schuster. Schuster, a man who fancied himself an amateur sleuth, followed the individual to a gas station and then tipped off the police. The man turned out to be a notorious bank robber and prison escapee Willie the actor Sutton, who was quickly arrested.
I love these, like, they all have hyphenated, like, they all
Yeah.
have, like, a nickname.
Like a moniker.
There was Machine Gun. And then there was, I know there was, like, 5 other guys you mentioned.
I'm sure. I don't know.
Tony Twinkle Toes.
Yeah.
There
Tony
there
Twinkle Toes.
Tommy the Bahama.
Breeze.
Yeah, Tommy the Bahama Breeze. I like that.
Thank you.
Tommy Breeze.
Tommy Breeze.
It's like a 90s heartthrob.
Call me Breezy.
Call me Breeze.
Wait, that's Chris Brown. Breezy.
Oh, that's what he was, right?
Yeah.
Breezy?
Easy breezy, beautiful cover girl.
Breezy.
Maybe it's Maybelline. Not a sponsor.
But anyway,
Who knows?
Schuster's story appeared in New York tabloids, and he was widely interviewed on local television. Unfortunately, one of these interviews was seen by mafia crime boss Albert the Mad Hatter Anastasia. What a name.
What?
An especially violent criminal. Although he had absolutely no connection to Willie Sutton, the mafia kingpin was reportedly enraged by the attention paid to Schuster. On the evening of March 8th, 1952, Schuster was returning home from work when he was confronted by a gunman who shot him twice in the groin and once in each eye.
Why?
And when the neighbors found him on the sidewalk, he was already dead. No one was ever officially charged.
Piper,
with
why are you
Schuster.
laughing, you ghoul? Jesus. Why are you laughing?
What if the killer was just like, I
Because
hate...
the groin is crazy work.
Yeah, that's...
I mean,
Albert Fish, he tightens his grip on his chair. He's
he's
like,
like, he's just like,
that's a big needle.
okay. Jesus.
Look at the girth on that needle. It's just a fucking slug. It's just a slug.
Watch. Okay. I almost said, watch me play hide the bullet.
It doesn't take long.
No fucking
Goes about
way.
600 meters per second. Probably more than that. I don't know. I have no idea.
I don't know. Okay. Anyway.
That's
Faster than the
literally
speed of fun.
crazy
I know
work.
that.
And it's just like first the groin and then like the eyes.
Yeah, he hates balls. He took both. Yeah, he took his balls away more
Well,
ways
the
than
balls
one.
were like 2 birds, 1 stone.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, he got a collateral.
But the eyes,
He shot it out of sideways, so he got both
like
of them.
the eyes are further apart. So he's like, I take things in pairs. So
I think so. What if he has OCD?
what if?
That would be really interesting.
That would
know?
be so interesting, actually. Yeah.
Because that's what I'm talking about with this. Even with the New England murders, there's got to be like, there's got to be something.
Yeah.
Something
There's
more-
got to be something.
something more will
besides
come
a
out of
dead
it.
woman. Like all of these
They've-
dead women, that's something. That
Right.
they're all women.
Right.
That means
And
he
the
has a type,
same-
or she has a type, whoever the
And
fuck.
the same, like,
Within, yeah, it's not like he's
It's not-
flying all over the fucking.
no, it's all in one kind of concentrated area.
Yeah.
All right, anywho, did you finish that part?
I did.
Okay.
Schuster.
Simon and Schuster.
Yeah.
Sounds like a law firm.
Dominic Sonny Black Napolitano fatally introduced the FBI to his crew. Dominic Sonny Black Napolitano was immortalized in the 1997 film Donnie Brasco.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, which told the story of Joseph Pistone, an FBI agent who successfully infiltrated Sonny Black's Brooklyn crew, which dominated the Williamsburg area of the borough in the 1970s. Black engaged in the typical mafia criminal behaviors of burglary, loan sharking, bookmarking, extortion, and narcotics. Pistone spent 6 years gathering incriminating information for the FBI, but eventually Pistone's cover was revealed personally to Black by FBI agents at his headquarters, Brooklyn's Motion Lounge. He ignored the agent's request to think about entering the witness protection program, despite understanding what the penalty for allowing the FBI into his crew would be. On August 17th, 1981, he was summoned to a meeting and, anticipating the worst, gave his jewelry to a friend. Upon entering the home of another mobster, he was pushed down into the basement, and when one of the killers misfired on the first attempt to kill him, he said, "Hit me one more time and make it good." His badly decomposed body would not be found for a year, his hands cut off to symbolize the penalty for introducing the FBI to the crew.
Ooh.
Whew.
Yeah, that's something. And I remember the scene in Donnie Brasco. I think it was when Homeboy gives his jewelry to Johnny Depp, and you just look in his eye. It's like, fuck. Like, he looks scared, but it's not that much. It's like...
Because it's kind of like, I know the price.
It's like, there's
Yeah.
nothing I can do. It was like defeat, but also...
inevitable. And
inevitability. It's just unfortunate. His face just looked like, this is unfortunate. Like, he looked scared, but it was just like, fuck. Like, almost like he came to terms with it early.
Yeah.
Like, he knew.
But Salvatore Testa's Philadelphia Kiss of Death. In the 1980s, Salvatore Testa was known as a rising star in the Philadelphia crime world. Nicky Scarfo was both jealous and violently erratic. He soon decided that Testa would have to go and that it would be Testa's own crew who would handle the murder. At a Philadelphia funeral attended by dozens of Scarfo-related criminals, a lieutenant of Scarfo greeted Testa by shaking his hand and kissing him for an extended time on the lips, a clear signal that Testa was doomed. On
Aw.
September 14th, 1984...
I would probably start thinking I'm fucking doomed.
like,
This is way too long. I'm doomed.
yeah. Like, normally it's just a quick little,
I was kidding.
just like a little, mwah.
Yeah. These
Yeah.
mobsters, man, they love that kind of shit.
Oh, yeah.
On September 14th, 1984, he was ambushed in the back room of a candy store and shot in the back of the head. Testa's body was dumped on a road in suburban New Jersey. Nicky Scarfo was finally convicted on a number of charges, including Testa's murder. Scarfo died in prison on a life sentence.
Hang on.
I don't know what happened, but Jess just spontaneously combusted. There's a pile of ash sitting in her chair.
Yes.
I think she might have said, there was a part of the article that was in Latin. I told her not to read it, but, women.
Yeah.
You would know.
Yeah, I do.
You know a little thing about Latin.
Yeah. But if you would like to support the show, you can find us on buymeacoffee.com/coffee scream. That is coffee SCREAM, as well as patreon.com coffee and scream. For bonus episodes and extra content, follow us on X.
Full frontal
Yes.
of me.
Follow us on X at see the letter scream pod, at It's Just G, at Royal Homicide, and Christopher. That is CHRASTEHFURRR.
R.
Yes.
Oh, you're a pirate now, huh?
Yes.
Arr.
On Instagram,
That'd be
at
my handle.
Coffee and Scream Pod, at JustJess86. That is with a period between Just and Jess.
Mm-hmm.
Piper A04 and at Art of Chris V.
Thanks, yo. I appreciate it. If
of
you follow, you
course.
see some crazy shit. I draw
Of
really fucked up
course.
shit. I draw mafias and cornfields. That's all
Hell
I
yeah.
draw. Imagine that I was an artist. That's all I drew was like the last scene for Casino.
Do you want to plug your Twitch show?
I would love to.
Fuck yeah.
Guys, twitch.tv/Wonder Time Theater, kick.com/Wonder Time Theater, Wonder Time Theater on YouTube. And you heard my other handles. We are going to be back this Tuesday. So by the time you are listening to this, there's going to be a new episode out for that. We usually go long form, usually like 6-hour show. So if you guys are looking for something to listen to, I'll show you some wild shit. I'll show you where Jimmy
yeah.
Hoffa isn't buried.
Oh, wow, really?
I know where that is.
Do you know where Walt Disney's skull is?
I told you to stay out of the basement.
Fuck!
I told you. All right, I'll see you guys later.
See you later. Remember to also listen to How Very,
Yes.
our beautiful podcast mom show with her friend Holly.
You talk about like
Yes.
pumping and
No.
stretch marks. That's all I talk about is pumping and stretch marks.
You can find that under our network and everything. So, yeah. Be safe, lock your doors, and we love you.
Bye. Yes, I'm gonna do Jess. Kind of similar, right?
Yeah.